Councillor Turley. All councillors undertook an oath of affirmation at the beginning of their term of office and declared to undertake the duties of the office of councillor in the best interest of the people of Broken Hill local government area and the city of Broken Hill. And they will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities and discretions vested in them under the Local Government Act 1993 or any other act to the best of their ability and judgment. This committee meeting has been live streamed via YouTube and recorded and published online via council's website. To those present in the meeting today, by attending this public meeting, you are consenting to your image, voice and comments being recorded and published. The chairperson or general manager have the authority to pause the live stream if comments or debate are considered defamatory or otherwise inappropriate for publishing. Participants are advised they may be subject to legal action if they engage in unlawful behaviour. Apologies. There is one apology from Councillor Turley. That's the only one that is missing. Motion to submitted from Councillor Turley to accept her motion for. You'll move that. Seconder. Councillor Chandler. Thank you. All in favour? Cool. No leave of absence. The prayer, Mayor Kennedy.
Almighty God, we ask you to invoke your blessing upon this council, direct and prosper our deliberations to the advancement and true welfare of the people of the council area, our state and Australia. Amen.
Mayor Kennedy. Councillor Chandler.
We acknowledge the traditional owners of the land upon which we meet today, the land of the Willicali people, and pay our respects to their elders, past, present and emerging.
Thanks, Councillor Chandler. Councillor Allgate.
We take time to reflect, remember and honour the over 800 miners that lost their lives and those that were crippled or maimed on the line of flow. We thank the brave miners and their wives who were part of the 1919-1920 strike that lasted over 500 days and delivered a 35-hour working week. Mining is our past and our future.
Thanks, Councillor Allgate. Minutes for confirmation that the minutes of the Infrastructure and Environmental Committee meeting held on the 18th of May 2026 be confirmed. Have a mover. Councillor Chandler, seconder. Councillor Allgate, you speak on that, Councillor Chandler? No. Councillor Allgate? Anyone else want to speak on that? No. All right. All in favour? Carried unanimous. Thank you. Any disclosure of interest tonight? No disclosures. Thank you. Reports. Report number 1, Broken Hill City Council report number 105/26, dated July the 1st, 2026, draft fire safety policy for public exhibition. Have a mover of that?
Move the recommendation.
Councillor Allgate, seconder. Councillor Chandler. Speak on that, Councillor Allgate.
No, Mr. Chair, it's just the regulations that we have to meet and the recommendations cover everything.
Councillor Chandler. I will speak on it. It says that for some years now we haven't had a notice from council business owners about them, and for the like requesting the fire safety policy. Is how long has it been? Anyone know? How long since the notices have gone out? Yeah, a number of years. Yeah, so I think we're going to have to be fairly lenient and fair with business owners because they would have got behind now, and things haven't been checked for a long time. I think with this policy, and it does say there is an area for leniency, but I think we're going to have to be because the cost, just the cost to get them inspected is high, but the cost to then do to make them within the law is going to be a lot higher. And I guess the old rule still applies. If it was built on such and such a time, it would still go back to that. But gee, the new ordinances are pretty severe, very costly. So just my thoughts are that we've just got to be a bit lenient, but we have to where we can.
Especially you have the fire safety certificate and then you have the half yearly. It feels like they're there all the time, and it does cost a significant amount of money even for a business the size of mine that only it's impossible to burn down, but they're still in there. They check all your fire exits, they check all your hydrants, they have hoses, and you could imagine for some businesses that haven't had it or their statements even provided on the walls, which you're meant to do and all this sort of stuff. It's going to be quite the impact on quite a few businesses, and there's going to be a lot of businesses that aren't happy because you're paying hundreds of dollars, close to $1,000 a year for something that most people in their own mind believe they don't need.
That's yeah, exactly right. Thanks for that, Kenny. Do I have asked for another call from who was that? Yeah, I did. Yep.
I just asked the question,
Yep.
but not that directly related, but the emergency services levy for this year, this financial year, could you just remind me how much that might be or was?
I'll leave that to you, General Manager.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. I might take on notice, Councillor Allgate, and come back to you. It's still just increased on CPI, so it's still a significant amount. About, I think from memory, it's around 400,000 a quarter, but it didn't go down. It's increased by CPI for this year's budget.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you.
All in favour of the motion? Thank you. Passed unanimous. Item number 2, Broken Hill City Council Report number 10626, dated July the 15th, 2026. Draft directional and tourism signage policy for public exhibition. Do I have a mover? Mayor Kennedy, second it. Councillor Allgate. Speaking on that, Mayor Kennedy.
Yeah, look, it's good policy. You really need some of the directional signage that is put into this report, and it's good to just put it down out in public view so that people can respond to it, and councils can also, I think, into.
Thanks, Mayor Kennedy. Councillor Allgate. Yeah, I agree with you, Mayor Kennedy, and I think we might get a fair few replies because I hear a lot of people whinging about something around the town and they can't read some, there's this and that. Yeah, so I think we'll probably get a fair few submissions. Although a lot of people don't send submissions.
For example, just today on the radio, people were talking about the signage for the library, and then that brought up the discussion about some of the signage that is no longer visible. People were very, very appreciative of the airport sign that's gone up. People like it because if you have new signs, it makes the town look new. It just has that effect. So I think it's a good policy, and I think people will be quite.
Thanks, Mayor Kennedy. All in favour of that motion? Yeah, passed unanimous. Thank you. Item number 3, Broken Hill City Council Report number 107/26, dated July 15, 2026. Revoke council policy of the dispute resolution for development matters. Have a mover of that?
Just
Make
move
it-
the recommendations as put.
Councillor Allgate, seconder. Councillor Chandler. Discussing that. Councillor Allgate, just as is.
No, nothing to offer except to say that it's the reasons for the recommendations are there, and there's nothing more to add.
Thank you. Councillor Chandler? No. All in favour of that? Thank you. We're unanimous. Item number 4, Broken Hill City Council Report number 108/26, dated July 1, 2026. Request for donation of council's old mini street sweeper to the Broken Hill Kart Club. Have a mover of that? Mayor Kennedy. Second, Councillor Allgate. Speaking on that, Mayor Kennedy.
Look, because so many people from the go-kart club are involved in mechanics, this will be a great opportunity to give what would be, if they get it going, a donation worth significant thousands of dollars, where council will get only not much for scrap. So for the Broken Hill Council and the Broken Hill community, it is a win-win for all involved, and I hope that they can get that going because it'll be an asset to that club for a long time to come.
Thanks, Mayor Kennedy. Councillor Allgate. No. Yeah, I'd just like to take the chance to congratulate the go-kart club actually, because I went out the other day and they're doing a great job out there, and it's really good for the town. There's people everywhere out there, and it's just good to see. It's, it's another sport up and alive. So well done.
Just on that, because it is such a good club, and they are going for grant funding wherever they can to expand that track will result in a national use of that that kart club. So also, I think that in the future, we do look to help them where we can to make sure that the grants that they are, because they did get a significant grant, but it's nowhere near enough to do what they need to do there. So if just offer the help to put in those grants to get them extra money and be very supportive of.
Did you want to add that to the,
I think if we just contact, not this time, but if we contact them between council meetings and then we can move a motion, that would be more, or a report motion that's more effective for them. So if someone just contacts them and sees what, as a council, what we can do to help.
thanks, Mayor Kennedy. All in favour of that? You pass unanimous. Number 5, Broken Hill City Council Report number 109/26 dated July 28, 2026.
Move the recommendations.
July 08, I should say. Can I finish first? Broken Hill Heritage Advisory Committee update. Do you have a mover? Councillor Allgate. Thank you. Seconder. Councillor Chandler, speak on that. Councillor Allgate.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. I think this highlights the fact that how difficult it is to get, suitable applicants to fill in on the various committees, and this one is an important one. And we can only do what the human body can do, and that's advertise. And you can't force people to become members, but I know from personal experience on some of the 3, 4, 5 committees that I'm on, there are just a basic number of people, and to get all those people together at the same time because of all their commitments is not easy. But when you haven't got the numbers to start with, well, you're really struggling, and this is an indication of that.
Thanks, Councillor Allgate. All in favour of that motion?
Just quickly on that, I'm surprised because I don't know how many people come to me, and I'm sure I'm not the only councillor that is approached about when is the Heritage Committee starting back up. Every time I give the same answer is we do not have enough people apply, and every time the same people that come up to me say, oh, well, would be involved. Well, these are the people that are criticising council out into the community that we don't have a Heritage Committee, but we can't get any people to stand on the Heritage Committee. So some of those people that are openly critical of council about the lack of a Heritage Committee might need to stand up and put their name up and get this, what would be a good committee that delivers advisory role to council on what we do with heritage. They need to stand up. And I think that when it comes to the full council meeting, I'd hope that all councillors do address this and argue that it's not just a lack of numbers. We are openly criticised in the public by certain sectors of the community. They need to stand up and take charge of it.
Thanks, Mayor Kennedy. All in favour? Oh, yes, sorry, Councillor Page. All in favour? Thank you. Pass unanimous. Thank you. Item number 6, Broken Hill City Council Report number 110/26 dated June 30, 2026. Minutes of the Project Consultative Group, Project Steering Group meeting held 15th of June 2026. Have a mover? Mayor Kennedy. Councillor Allgate, seconder.
Just like to say that thank all involved, particularly with the Alma Oval change rooms. Some of the people turned up to go through colours of that building and some of the materials chosen on the inside. It will be a credit to all involved. Without a doubt, it will be a really good addition to the Alma Oval. And as a council, these are the projects to deliver that make sporting organisations, sporting groups much more resilient and much easier to get members. One of the things that was brought up is the timekeeper's box, and some of the proposals that have been mentioned is potentially containers or whatever that's lined in different areas. So I think why we're heading, and I'm saying how good this is, we need to actually get that little bit of momentum, do look at maybe even painting the grandstand, just to really tidy up that area now that it'll be brand new, because once that's done, you get that revigorisation. And as the deputy mayor and councillor Allgate said, if we're going to get volunteers need to see some results so that they get back onto that Alma Oval. They start being part of cleaning that up, and that will start with things like a clean up of the grandstand, for example, on top of what is a really great thing in the change rooms that will be out at that oval.
Thanks, Mayor Kennedy. Yeah, and this consultative committee is a really, really good committee that, and I think with the people that are on it have always contributed very well, and I thank them for it. All in favour?
Before you go on, I think it's one of the best committees that's ever been put together by the council. Even for councillors who are allegedly insiders and should know it all, but don't. This tells you point by point what's happening within the council and what stage everything's at. And, it's just a very informative piece of paper that explains it all. And when you look at the results of the projects that that the council has achieved over the past recent times, the netball courts, the upgraded lighting at the tennis club, the paving of Argent Street, the bribery, the town square, not one of those projects has attracted criticism. Everybody that I've spoken to and everybody that speaks to me about anything about council has nothing but the greatest, accolades to put forward on the council's behalf. And that's something that's fairly new. I can recall going back 10 years ago, that wasn't the case. Now, I think that the current council has a lot to be thankful for, because our input, as well as the staff from the top right through to the bottom, everybody's acting as a team, and we're getting things done, and we're getting things done quickly. It's a pity we haven't got more grant money to continue.
Thanks, Councillor Allgate.
Could I just say one more thing, Deputy Mayor Hickey? So we got a new member, which was Jim Champion, and this is just for those that are involved. He thinks it's one of the best committees that he's ever been involved in. He's only been to one. So that's someone who's from the outside, who, after being at the meeting, took time to ring just to say that he was thrilled just how much in-depth knowledge is involved in that committee, and how much technical stuff's there, and how good it is for council to have something like that. So that's from someone who's been involved in other councils for 30 or 40 years or whatever it was. So that's a big statement from someone who worked at other councils.
Just on the subject matter, it's good that Rebecca, the secretary, she keeps everything that's mentioned in the committee meetings. If there's any follow-up, the councillors get it very quickly. And, that whole committee is one of the most productive committees I think the council has ever had.
And when you talk to the contractors, they respect her very much, and she gets the job done, does it well. So well done to her. All in favour? Thank you. Passed unanimous. Councillors, can I limit you to 3 minutes for conversation? Thank you. Number 7, Broken Hill City Council Report number 111/26, dated July 8, 2026. Minutes of the Local Transport Forum meeting number 8, held on Tuesday, the 7th of July, 2026. Move, Councillor Allgate. Seconded.
Yep.
Councillor Chandler. Councillor Allgate.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. The current problem is normally coloured by parking issues, it seems to be continuing in that respect. But there've been a couple of things that really need to be mentioned, and that's the concern that was expressed by a complainant from the south region about kids, school kids from the Alma School crossing Bonanza Street at Wilson Street and Bourton Street. The council's had a look at that those intersections. There for some time, apparently there was 40-kilometre-an-hour restricted signs, speed signs in that area, but the council representatives that have been involved done some searching, and they couldn't find out when it was invoked, when it was developed or accepted to 40 kilometre-an-hour, and when it had stopped. But in discussions at the forum level with the police representatives suggest or acknowledge that speed is a problem in that area, and he mentioned that he's seen some cars doing 80 kilometres an hour, and like in discussion, it was said that that road at Bonanza seems to be carrying a lot more road down that way since the so much travel to the airport, so many extra vehicles going to the airport and to the Flying Doctor base and the Clyde Bishop Medical Centre, and everybody seems to be in a hurry. They've got pedestrian crossings marked at both intersections, and the decision was that we not implement a 50. We not request the council to approve a 40 kilometre-an-hour. We keep it at the going 50 kilometres an hour, and the council staff will tidy the areas up and see if there's any need for additional signage anywhere. But apart from that, just leave it as it is. And the police have agreed to monitor it during peak times when the schools, the schools early in the morning and then at school finish time. One of the other matters is the Monday Light Festival over 3 nights, sorry. There's been an application for all of the food vendors, their vans and whatever, to retain their positions in Chloride Street parking for the whole 3 days. And that wasn't supported. There's something like 15 vans or mobile trailers and 3 or 4 large generator sets, and the application was to take up all the parking at the side of the post office, which would affect a lot of people, and eliminate parking from Argent down to Blend. Probably not such a problem on Saturday and Sunday, but on the Monday it would be a problem. So the council, the forum agreed not to support it. What else was there? Oh, the request from I can't think of the name now. Does we see? Tronox, who are out near the on the Pinnacles area. They had an application in for an improvement to where the Tronox road exits onto the Pinnacles Road. That T section has been a problem, and they request the council to install 70 kilometre-an-hour speed limit signs nearby or in adjacent, and clean up the area generally, and that work is apparently in hand. And apart from that, there's the usual taxi rideshare issues, and the forum supports the implementation of various nominated taxi ranks being changed into taxi, rideshare and Uber drop off and pick up points, and that should solve a lot of the problems. The only other thing that seems to be a recurring thing, there seems to be more people asking for disability parking spots in the CBD area. But the most recent one was a private resident in Lane seeking a disabled zone in the front of their premises when there's already a fair bit of space up around on a right of way next to adjacent to the premises. But anyway, when the council looked at it, apart from there being not sufficient room to put a standard disabled in front of a private residence, as I said on the committee, it would open up a Pandora's box. You know, once you allow one resident to have, you know, a disabled zone in front of their premises, I know I'd be seeking the same thing for my own premises. And where do you finish? But anyway, motor transport, David Vance said there's not the room there to put the zone anyway, so that's not supported. And there's plenty of other parking issues, but they're just run of the mill. Thanks.
Thank you, councillor Allgate. Councillor Kennedy?
I just, so just through the chair, so what was their, so they wanted to have the 3 days, so what will they do in between the days if they can't come? Yeah.
The vehicles, I understand are mobile, they drive them away. The trailers might not be, they might have to be picked up and hooked up and whatever. But this is the advice of the committee. It's for the council to decide.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, through you. Just in regards to that item, which we might circulate an updated map. So post the local traffic forum meeting, there's been an updated map proposed, which will circulate to councillors. So perhaps it's something that can be deferred, and this particular point for further discussion at council meeting. With those food vendors, there's about there'll be an impact to parking on Australia Post, which will only be on the Monday. But the Royal Exchange side and the Life Without Barriers down to where the Sturt Club renovations are occurring, that'll be all free for parking. And there will be parking available in Chloride Street, and there'll be about 9 parks taken away out the front of the public toilets during the morning. So there's a full day road closures which have been approved from midday onwards for each of those days. So it is the morning trade that there'll be impact to parking, but it's not as great as what it was initially proposed to the forum. So it might be worth council's consideration to support those vendors there. The vendors have made mention that there's nowhere for them to take their trucks if they can't shut them down there overnight. So they just won't come to the festival because obviously Broken was already constrained with the other caravans and tourists, so they've got nowhere to go. So they've already proposed that they probably won't be able to come because they've got nowhere to take it. But it has been limited. So if we can circulate this map and further updates to councillors for consideration, might be worthwhile. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Yeah, as councillor Allgate said, it's only a recommendation, but that was the first thing that entered my mind when it was being spoken about. It's very difficult to people to actually cater to these events, and we want this event to be a success for Broken Hill, and part of being that success is sometimes there has to be a little bit of inconvenience to the people that are around. So for me, you've got to really think what is the impact by not allowing it, as opposed to what is the impact by allowing it. And what we're trying to do is create a tourism experience around, hopefully in the future, either side of the Monday Bash. And if we then are the people that hold back what there is a potential to grow tourism in Broken Hill, then that has been a regressive council that's actually looking for problems before the problems even happen. So I don't want to be a council that knocks back something because you fear that people are going to be so put out by having one morning where they can't park, and we end up not being able to get people here to what could end up being a great event in Broken Hill, similar to our dust festival that we have, which was such a success. So we need to be very mindful of it. That's what I'm saying, and we need to take into account other things than what the committee said. But as Councillor Allgate said, it's a recommendation from them based solely on parking as opposed to the overall benefit.
Thanks, Mayor Kennedy.
Could I,
Sorry.
could I just say that, in fairness to the forum, it was, you basically could say that the committee or the group under discussion were damned if they do and damned if they don't. They were tossing up the benefits and the disadvantages and whatever, and everybody was. I'm an observer, and I try not to play any part apart from listen. And but my concern as an individual was the 3 or 4 generators that are going to be parked in front of the post office. You know, the key boxes, the whatever. But the thing is that, as I just mentioned to the mayor, and you people know anyway, it's only a recommendation, and the council has to decide on the benefits or otherwise.
Thanks, Councillor Red. I'd just like to say the general manager and myself had the opportunity of being in Sydney the other week, and they leave them there for days on end around Darling Harbour and around Circular Quay. It's good enough for them. It's good enough for us. All in favour of that motion? Thank you. Passed unanimous. Pardon? Yeah. No. It's just a comment, Mr. Mayor. That ends the environmental meeting. And we'll move into confidential matters. Can I have a call for motion to move into confidential?